Very fine day to you. It's time for some more Romance of the Three games. Now this week we only actually have 2 stages because I'm devoting double time to what we're about to see now, which is the final stage in Wu's Musu mode. We see here in the text, it describes our decisive victory at Yiling, but it wasn't decisive enough, so there's going to be another battle. Against the Shu forces, basically the idea is that Wu have pushed all the way west to the Shu capital at Chengdu, and basically just wants to completely eradicate them to make sure that the Three Kingdoms era comes to an end. So we're going to be doing this battle today, the Battle of Chengdu. You'd think because it's the final stage in the game that it would be the hardest stage, and there will indeed be many challenges to overcome in this stage. So let's see the unit lineup from the beginning. Looks like we have quite a lot of 4 morale units, so sort of standard fare. The enemy has slightly fewer units than us to begin with. You can see that Liu Bei and their main force isn't on the field. Don't see Guan Yu there either, he's probably going to show up at some point. But they do start with higher morale than us. But then this is nothing unusual, we see that quite often at this point in the game. Anyway, the main push for the beginning of the battle was going to be to try and take the castle immediately in front of where I was positioned.
And seal the fate of Shu. Come on. I'll show you a thing or two.
So within 2 seconds, one of the bridges on the south side of the map explodes, and this basically cuts off where I'm going to where I'm going to need to be later on. So it's kind of annoying, but we'll see the problem solve itself. Now I actually started the level right in front of an enemy officer, Wang Ping here, so he's got a nice 6 morale unit for me to take out from the very beginning. I should help out some of the other officers who started behind me get through later on. Sun Jian points out what I was going to do anyway, which is to take Luo Castle, which is just west of where I am on the battle map and is garrisoned at the moment by Ma Su. We'll see once we get over there, that has a few tricks. Let's have a look.
Arbalest unit, begin your attack. Defeat the enemy before they enter Chengdu.
So Zhuge Liang's pulling some tricks. He's put his secret invention, the Arbalest, on top of the castle walls. And basically what the Arbalest does in the game is hit you with like 10 arrows simultaneously. There we go, we just saw it fire off a volley. If you get too close to the wall, it can't actually hit you because of the firing angle, which is pretty useful. Plus it's kind of firing up my bodyguard, so I'm okay. The Arbalest was something Zhuge Liang supposedly invented. It's more of just a giant crossbow than anything else. Oh yes, and all these catapults kind of just appear to start attacking the Arbalests. So I guess that's pretty useful, but for me I didn't really see why you needed that, because the Arbalests aren't that much of a threat, and never in the stage did those catapults actually manage to defeat the Arbalests, so I'm not sure whether they ever do. If you just let them keep firing for the whole stage, or firing for ages, eventually take them out. Who knows? Suffice to say, it doesn't really matter. So now we're moving on actually inside the castle. There were some Arbalests set up inside as well, but because they can only fire kind of straight in front of themselves, it's very easy to just go around them and avoid being completely cut down. But we saw there that Sun Shangxiang was defeated on the south side. If you look on the battle map, you can see enemy officers are actually pushing through into our main camp. It's because there are some morale 6 or 7 officers taking out our morale 4 guys defending the camp. And I knew I had to get back there basically, because if I didn't go back, they would eventually get into the camp and threaten Sun Jian. So the castle was taken, which is pretty useful, but no direct material benefit comes. There's no morale boost or anything. But we do get this, a bridge layer unit appears back where that bridge was destroyed. And this is extremely good timing for me, because I can use that bridge to start going back towards the area that is in trouble.
Hide in the fog and surprise the enemy.
So while I was on the way, we got this message about ambush parties appearing in the fog. This is in the forest on the northwest side of the map. We'll see that a bit later. As I moved south towards the area with the bridge layer, I noticed Zhang Fei was hanging around, and he challenged me to a duel. And I thought, sure, let's do it. Of course, it's not always a good idea to challenge Zhang Fei to a duel, because he's going to be super powered up. I'll see what I can do about him. Some pretty hardcore blocking there from both sides. Got a cheeky hit in there. There we go, a couple of hits. His health didn't really go down. He starts hitting me and my health goes down a whole lot more. Gets set on fire a little bit too. Not very nice. I get a really good combo on in there. So now we're not too far apart health-wise. He seems eager to attack my guard, which gives me opportunities to counter-attack him. And there we go, now we're actually equal in health. However, there's only 15 seconds left, so we're going to have to really start ending this battle. I thought I could block his first level charge, but you can't, so he gets me down to the red. Only a couple of seconds left. Can I finish this guy off? I trigger my true Musu with 5 seconds remaining. Oh, is health going? It's going. Is it going to make it? Yes, it does. So an incredibly cheeky victory. There's 1 second remaining. Barely killed him with the final blow. Zhang Fei is out of the picture, which is very good because he was like a morale 7 unit marauding around. So now that he's out of the picture, we really only have to deal with one other threat, which is Ma Dai. Ma Dai is the guy leading the forces attacking our main camp. Once we got rid of him, the immediate threat to our side will be gone. And then it'll just be a matter of attempting to go and deal with all those ambushes that were mentioned, which are really going to bolster the enemy's forces. You can see here, subordinate officers of Liu Bei's unit basically keep appearing in the forest, and then Liu Bei's unit himself appears over at Chengdu. So the enemy forces have been strengthened. However, that's just more people for me to kill, really. So I move back towards the main camp, and here's Ma Dai. Looks like he's now at morale 8, really rampaging through our forces. He had actually got inside the main camp, but he didn't get as far as Sun Jian. I think Lu Shun managed to hold him back a little bit. You can see Lu Shun struggling with it though. So basically, if I can take out Ma Dai right here, there we go. Suddenly Lu Shun will stop struggling. He'll be able to just work through the remainder of Ma Dai's 0 morale troops. And this frees me up to go and have some more fun elsewhere on the battlefield. I went back to Luo Castle and Ma Chao appeared out of nowhere. He just kind of spawned in and then challenged me to a duel. So I was like, fine, I'll give you a duel, Ma Chao.
Undisciplined.
He is the sword of justice, so I'm going to have to be careful. Hopefully his justice won't be very sharp. He misses with the parry, which is quite good. Ma Chao's parry is really useless. But then his Musu is quite good because it goes around your guard, so I was unable to block his Musu. No, I blocked the first couple of blows. Still going into an epic blocking contest. I keep sort of getting the last hits in my combo and he blocks the rest. Oh, he Musus me again. Hits me with every blow. I was expecting to lose more health than that actually. I think I came out of that Musu quite well. Only a couple of seconds left and he's got way too much health for me to defeat him. Just need to not die. We're going to have to force this one to a draw. So it's a draw with neither side really coming close to death. Relatively uninteresting duel. But now I have to fight Ma Chao in the field. You can see I got the complete force morale drop for drawing in that duel. I don't really think it's fair to lose all your force morale. Or lose the whole point of force morale just because you drew in a duel. It's not that bad. It doesn't mean you're going to lose. So anyway, a little bit later, Ma Chao had actually got loads of my bodyguards down to quite low health. Look at some of these, some of the girls around me. They're really losing health, and that lightning blast took off a whole load of their health as well. So I want you to pick up some health, because when you pick up health, your bodyguards regain health too. There's some there on the floor, but I keep getting hit and I can't get over to it. There we go, all grab full. So now we're really in good position. A very nice dodge of that bodyguard spear charge. And now I developed this quite good tactic, which is where you hit the enemy officer and then jump. And the enemy officer will jump up and try and hit you rather than hitting your bodyguards. And so this was my way of just making sure my bodyguards survive for this little last bit of the fight. You can see I'm using it again there. Also gives your bodyguards a chance to hit them, because sometimes your bodyguards will hit the enemy officer while they're beginning their jump and allow you to begin a combo on them.
I have no regrets.
He has no regrets, so I guess he didn't really mind losing. How sportsmanlike of him. So we got rid of Ma Chao. That's another morale 8 unit deleted. We'll see if any more appear. So now began part of the battle, which lasted a very long time, which was fighting through the ambushes in the forest. Basically, Liu Bei here has 8 morale and keeps spawning in a seemingly unlimited number of 8 morale troops as you walk through the forest. And I was trying to guide 2 allied officers through the forest as I did this, fighting with them to stop them from dying. And this took a while. However, because I was killing so many of Liu Bei's troops in the process, we did actually manage to start getting his morale down, which gives me the opportunity to move away from the allied officers for a bit, which is what I'm doing now, to go and kill Guan Ping, who is sitting in the corner of the forest, because he's a subordinate of Liu Bei. Taking him out will further reduce Liu Bei's morale. increasing the survivability of, I think it's two allied officers, Pan Zhang and Zhu Sheng. Pan Zheng, sorry. No, Pan Zhang and Zhu Sheng. Hard to pronounce these things. Anyway, I moved through the forest and Zhuge Liang was hanging about. He's got 7 morale, and he was just about to start engaging the allied officers, so I needed to take him out. Otherwise the allies would get taken down. Lu Xun has moved up to Luo Castle. He's being held back by Liu Bei's troops again. So let's just finish off Zhuge Liang. Zhuge Liang, sorry, however you want to pronounce it. I'm having some trouble with his guards though, they keep taking me down. Zhuge Liang tries to run away there, but I managed to very cheekily hit him with the charging at the end of my Musu. Nice little ground pound from Devin. Lets me have a little combo on him. He's almost dead. Come on, let's finish this guy off. There we go. Where are your arbalests now, mate?
It appears I have met my destiny.
He's met his destiny. How unfortunate. You would have think he would have predicted his own death. I think he spent half his time predicting the death of other people. But anyway, with Zhuge Liang out of the picture, suddenly things are pretty much balanced in our favour. Guan Yu suddenly spawns in the middle of the forest, so I thought, well, I should probably go and deal with that. I don't want my own forces fighting the great Guan Yu. Seems like an honour that only I should take. Now, Guan Yu is pretty powered up, but you can see his unit is down to 4 morale, so my allies probably would have been okay against him. But still, it's really my responsibility to take this guy out. He's a pretty powerful opponent. Plus, if I take him out and then Liu Bei, I would have taken out all 3 of the Peach Garden Oath brothers. And that's got to be something. Hit him with a massive Musu. He's almost dead now. You can see Ling Tong struggling at the bottom. He's going up against Yue Ying. Yue Ying has 7 morale. He has 1 morale, so he is... I don't even know how he's still alive. He should just die instantly with such a morale imbalance against him. But he's managing to fight for ages against an endless stream of troops. So Guan Yu is down.
I have broken the oath. Forgive me.
You weren't the first one to break the oath, so it's okay. He'll be fine. So there we go. Defeated Guan Yu. Now I just decided to start taking out a couple of the guards around just for my own personal amusement to get my kills up to 250, which I've now achieved. But then this happened. Oh! Everything just exploded. One of the guys nearby was throwing grenades, and me and the bodyguard took a massive hit. Very inconvenient. I could have ended the stage now, but I decided to keep going again and go and fight Yue Ying for completeness. Kind of I wanted to save Ling Tong. It doesn't really matter whether Ling Tong survives or not, but I felt like I wanted to complete the final stage in as complete a way as possible by basically defeating all of the enemy officers. Now Yue Ying freezes me and takes a whole load of my health. I almost died there. Sun Jian says the classic line about me being in too deep, and I should control myself, which we've all heard at one point or another, and took her out. Apparently that also stopped an arbalist unit from working somewhere. I guess Ling Tong was running into that arbalist unit. She says farewell to her husband, apparently unaware that Zhuge Liang is actually already dead, so that's quite sad that she hadn't heard about the death of her husband beforehand. But there we go. If I'd come to Yue Ying earlier on, I would have fought these juggernauts, which you can see in the background. They're just sitting there now because the juggernauts for some reason can't move if Yue Ying doesn't exist. So it's pretty lucky that I decided to go the ambush route, because that's actually easier. You're just fighting troops, no juggernaut annoyances. Juggernauts tend to be really hard to kill and to set you on fire all the time. So now it looks like some of the Wu troops are having trouble in one of the passes. I think this is where Ling Tong's unit is moving up a pass towards Chengdu, and apparently there are landmines that have been laid down, so that's pretty inconvenient. Not that it matters, we don't even need Ling Tong. Ling Tong's going to go around the long way, but he probably won't even reach the party before it ends. Here we go. Looks like it's Han Dang and Pan Zhang fighting with Liu Bei, and then this special event happens as I arrive.
Peasants, why are you dressed for war?
We're your people, Lord Liu Bei. It's our duty. We must fight to repay your kindness.
So a bunch of peasants rush out the city, deciding to repay Liu Bei's kindness by fighting for him. And by that, I really mean dying for him, because well, the peasant units, you can see them here, they have really short life bars and they die in one hit. So, I don't know, perhaps they overestimated their own ability to fight with these professional soldiers, but they just got themselves killed, which isn't really what Liu Bei would have wanted, so it wasn't really a very nice gift of them to give to him on his final day. Anyway, there's pretty much nothing left to do on the battlefield but defeating Liu Bei, unless I really want to go and mop up all the peasants, but can't really be bothered. I'd rather stick to the more relevant Fry, fighting someone my own size. And he's almost down. Can't actually manage to get a hit on him though. This bodyguard's doing a good job of distracting me from him, but they're only really prolonging the suffering. Their master will have to die, regardless of whether they want it or not. And there was another female soldier on the field there on the enemy side, must be one of the peasants. Must be nice for my bodyguards to occasionally come across other females. And there we go. Liu Bei is down. Back to the garden with you. That's a victory for Wu, and the final victory for Wu. No more opponents to deal with. We've pretty much united the land. Nice one, Zhoutai. That's another problem solved by violence. So let's have a look at the replay of the stage. I've sped it up a little bit here because it was quite a long stage, just like the Nanman campaign. You can see me whipping around, taking out the high morale officers towards the beginning, and then begins the sort of slower process of going through the forest here, moving back and forward, just taking out loads of troops, sealing a couple of gates, taking out those subordinate officers around in the forest as well. That's me rushing back to kill Guan Yu. Could have ended the stage there, but rushed down to take out Yue Ying. You can see the allied morale was really never very good. Only Su Sheng and Pan Zhang had high morale because I fought with them so long and prevented their troops from being taken out. Got a load of experience and a rank up, not that it means anything anymore, and tons of completely unutilizable weapon experience. Now at this stage there was an ending cutscene, but it didn't trigger properly. Although the cutscene was rubbish, it's just a cutscene of Wu forces walking along a road, and then it just cuts to white. But after this you get this little review of the story, and I've pasted in some relevant footage from the battle that I fought in my Musu mode for each storage segment. So enjoy watching this. Now, normally at the end of Musu mode, you get this little ending, which is like a musical montage cutscene where you see some of the officers you've been playing with and have been on your side doing various semi-mundane activities and generally living it up in the peace after your victory. However, the cutscene wouldn't work for me. The frame rate kept varying so much and the audio was super corrupted. However, because I wish to procrastinate from doing revision for some university exams I have coming up, I decided to manually reconstruct all the frame rates correctly so that the video would play properly, and change some of the emulator settings so the screen would stop flickering, and splice in the audio. So as a result, here is Wu's Musu mode, ending number 4. I hope you enjoy it. Hooray to an eternal peace under Wu. So there you go, that's just what the ending is. It's time to move on to extreme mode. That song, by the way, is called Cross Colors. It's by Yuki Koyanagi. That's the English version as well, which is the far inferior version of that song, at the risk of sounding too indie. You can look up the Japanese version online for Dynasty Warriors 4 fans. It's nice to hear the original. Anyway, so for today's stage we're going off to Runan, which is actually where we went last time, isn't it, if I remember correctly. But we're going there again, mainly because it said something about there being like swords on sale. And I was like, that sounds like something. But it wasn't anything, it just meant they were selling loads of musu wine basically, which I wasn't too interested in because I don't really like having a long musu bar. I'd rather have my musu trigger more frequently than trigger it for a longer time each time, which is the consequence of having a longer musu bar. Anyway, we're going into the stage. Luckily it's the other side of the Runan map to the one we played with last time, so it is effectively a different stage. Yuan Shao and Huang Zhong are on the map. The enemy commander is Yue Ying with only one enemy officer supporting her. It's a bit disappointing because it means there isn't much room for taking out enemies and getting experience if there aren't many officers around. First things first, I opened these pots, which is always a good idea, and then I moved up here into this little section.
Very foolish.
And Lucian says something about theft, and I was like, what am I stealing? What have I done? So after recovering from the initial confusion, it turned out that there was a supply dump inside this castle, and that you can actually get in if you take out the relevant officer, and turns out that officer was Ding Feng, who was wandering around outside, so a little help from my hired bandits. We've opened the gates. What a appropriate set of troops to be helping me raid this supply depot. So you bust in and there's a load of these supply captain units who are basically just semi-powered up troops who run at you but have no health and die pretty fast. And every time you kill one, it either drops an item or it drops a stat up item. And the stat up items are actually very disappointing. They're all like defense +1. There you go, I just picked up a defense +1, which is very unexciting. Like, I really expected something good, seeing as this was some sort of rare special event. I thought, oh, it's going to give me loads of like massive stat ups or something, but no, not really. The supply depots in Dynasty Warriors 5 do give you massive stat boosting items when you raid them, which you can also do far more frequently, which is why I expected something good to happen, but not really. The real advantage of doing this supply depot is the fact that Lu Xun spawned onto the map when I walked towards it, which means that's another enemy officer to fight with. I guess if you didn't have any items it would be good because it drops items, but as far as I remember the items it drops were things I already had. We'll find out later on, can't quite remember. So as I said, we get to fight Lu Xun, and he was sure enough standing outside the supply depot, though he's so speedy that he's actually getting the drop on me. He hits me with a Musu while that private juggled me. Very annoying. Don't you just hate juggling privates? Lucian hits me with his damn elemental blast, and then hits me with his Musu again. God damn it, I'm taking some real punishment from Lucian today. This must be revenge, because last time we saw Lucian at Runan, he was going crazily drunk riding an elephant. So I guess he's sobered up and now realizes he actually has a duty to be defending this place and is trying to take a little bit of revenge. Unfortunately, I'm going to ruin his party from pretty much now onwards by kicking him in the face and generally slashing him to pieces. So he is doing a good job of blocking against me. He would have hit me there, but luckily my Musu triggered. Take him down and now just deliver the finishing blow. There we go. So the next objective is to head out the castle and start working my way towards Yue Ying. When I was outside the gates, I got this message from the lady captain: farewell. The lady guards, the very last of the lady guards, were killed somewhere in the castle. I don't know what by, because there were no like high morale units in there, so they just somehow died. There must have been a detachment of Lu Kuang's troops in there somehow. Anyway, all I had to do next was take out this guy who was just kind of standing on his own by this bridge. He went down pretty easy. So the next objective was to move forward, and there were some more enemy officers hidden in a fight with Huang Zhong here. It's Denlong and Fa Zheng. I think Fa Zheng's a subordinate of Denlong, in fact. Yes, is he? He's a subordinate of Yue Ying, there you go. He's a subordinate of someone, anyway. So it was time to sort of work my way through this little bit of chaotic fighting, try not to take any damage. When there are just troops flying about all over the place like this, it is kind of hard to keep track of where everything is, so you don't always know when you're about to take damage. or you just get someone like Fa Zheng jumping and slapping you in the face with his sword. Happens to the best of us. He dropped an item, pretty sweet. Then that bodyguard started really whomping on me. Didn't really kill the bodyguard, decided to get my revenge on Deng Long instead. And Xiahou Dun's helping me out a fair bit as well. I spent a couple of minutes before this scene looking for health and didn't find any on the north side of the map. Quite disappointing, considering I didn't find any health last time I was in this stage either. It seems like Runan is just an unlucky place for looking for health. Opened so many pots and just didn't find anything. So we moved on a little bit later. A little bit more pot searching and enemy killing went on, and we ended up fighting with Jian Yong, who's another of Yue Ying's subordinate officers just south of where Yue Ying actually is. There are some allied units fighting in this area as well, which helped out quite a bit. You can see they're distracting Jian Yong at this very moment. He was about to combo me, but another well-timed Musi takes him out. Xiahou Dun comes in to join the party. I wonder where Zhang Liao is these days. He's still following me around, but don't really know where he is. He's in theory around somewhere. Anyway, so I took him out. You can see there's only something like 2 minutes left, and now beginning my fight with Yue Ying. A little bit late to start the fight with the enemy commander, but there's still enough time. We can do this. I think it's because I went around the north side of where the commander was, looking for more help and taking out archers, because there were quite a few at the back. But did not find anything, so still disappointing. We're really starting to get to the time when I need to do some damage now. Yue Ying's still got full health and there's only 1.5 minutes left. Now Xiahou Dun suddenly dies due to Yue Ying's projectile attack. Luckily he dropped some health, so that parting gift was much appreciated because I really needed that health, considering I took so many hits during that stage. If Xiahou Dun hadn't died, it would have been very disappointing. Sorry to say to Xiahou Dun. Anyway, now I had this attack times 2 because I just picked up, so I decided I really needed to utilise this because there's only 1 minute left. I need to do some damage to Yue Ying, and having this attack times 2 really helps. But you can also see that tons of the allied officers are getting in the way, especially this chump on the horse, which is actually making it difficult for me to get my attacks in. The good thing is that when I do start attacking and she blocks it, some of these allied officers, allied troops, sorry, sometimes break her guard by going around the back and staggering her. Anyway, something like 30 seconds left now, getting really close to the end. At least Yue Ying's health getting pretty low. We have tons of supporting archers in the background there, you can see that's pretty useful. It's particularly useful because they're distracting her, because she's trying to kill the archers, and so I can sort of focus on killing her from behind. Oh, but then I saw these pots in the background with only 20 seconds left, and I was like, yes, pots, give me some damn health. Rushed over there, and I got attack times 2 and speed times 2. Not health, but exactly what I need to recover from the mistake of going over and looking in the pots. 10 seconds left. Should really be killing Yue Ying just about now. Come on, Yue Ying. Get down. This attack times 2 should finish her off. There we go. So finish the stage with 5 seconds left. That is damn time efficient. Also a kind of a health efficient stage as well, because I think I came out with about the same amount of health I went in, thanks to the fact that Xiahou Dun died and gave me a meat bun. So in terms of items, we've got a useless wing boots, useless speed scroll, and a useless peacock urn. So all the items were bad, but the items just convert to money, so at least the money is useful. So raiding that supply dump wasn't completely useless, although it's not like I really need money. Look how much money I've got. Almost 80 grand. Doing very well. Now normally this is where I'd show you Yan Mei's next stage, but because the episode's already running pretty long, I'm going to save that till next time. Next time we're going to have a special episode with 2 episodes from Empire's Mode, and then 1 more Extreme Mode. After that I don't know what I'll do. I need to show you the ending of Extreme Mode and Empire's Mode, so I'll work something out. But until then, stay safe until the next episode of Romance of the 3 Games.